It may be sold as wholesome family fun, yet Bluey hides twists darker than any kid's cartoon should dare. 1. Bingo's real mum? Something about Aunt Brandy doesn't sit right. In onesies, she turns up after years away, lip-biting and nervous, like she's hiding more than small talk. When Bingo asks who she looks like, Brandy freezes, and Chilli rushes to answer. Brandy's quiet stares at Bingo feel deeper than an aunt's affection. It almost feels like Bingo could have been Brandy's child all along. Maybe a teen pregnancy, maybe a time when Brandy wasn't ready. Did Chilli and Bandit step in, raising Bingo while the truth stayed buried under family smiles? 2. Smugglers in the house? Bandit's job sounds harmless. He's an archaeologist, digging up old treasures. Chilli works airport security, waving bags through checkpoints, but together, that mix is suspicious. He finds rare artifacts. She has the perfect chance to sneak them into the country without questions. Their giant house, endless time off, and calm money life suddenly look less innocent. Archaeology and airport work don't buy that lifestyle. Maybe those family barbecues are being paid for with black market loot. 3. Bandit's friendly neighbor? Bandit and Wendy never acted close in the early days. She rolled her eyes at his jokes and kept her distance. Then things changed. Suddenly, Bandit is complimenting her legs in ragdoll, grinning at her new haircut in dirt, and even headbutting her backside in sheepdog like it happens every week. The strangest part? She doesn't even mind. She laughs, cuts his hair, and acts far too comfortable for just neighbors. It feels less like backyard small talk and more like a secret friendship growing behind Chilli's back. 4. The kiss nobody mentions. There's one moment in Bluey that still feels impossible to explain. Chilli greets Stripe not with a hug or a friendly pat, but with a full kiss on the lips. It happens quickly, almost like the show hoped we wouldn't notice. But once you see it, you can't forget it. Later, the two sit drinking tea and share a look that feels uncomfortably private. When the kids rush back in, they both change the subject instantly. It feels less like family bonding and more like a slip of something hidden. 5. The accident that disappeared. Bingo's hospital stay in Bumpy is brushed off like a quirky side plot, but the details don't line up. Before that episode, she only wore a simple seatbelt. Afterward, she suddenly rides in a 5-point harness, the kind you use when safety is no longer a joke. Her hospital room is stacked with gifts, which usually means more than a single night inside. It starts to look like the healers survived a car accident off-screen. The family smiles carry on, but the quiet scars never get mentioned again. 6. Kids or grandmas in disguise? The Grannies episode looks like a silly dress-up game, but maybe it is more than play. What if Bluey and Bingo are not little pups at all, but elderly women in a care home, reliving the childhood they wish they had? Their wild imagination, strange time jumps, and fuzzy logic suddenly make sense when seen as memory instead of reality. Rita and Janet might not be fake names, but they're real ones. Behind the giggles and games could be two old souls escaping into daydreams. 7. Bluey on camera? Every so often, a character looks straight at us and it doesn't feel like an accident. Their eyes lock onto the screen, as if they know they're being watched. The perfect angles, the tidy endings, and the constant lessons start to feel staged, almost rehearsed. It raises the question, what if Bluey's world is really a reality show? The Healer family could be living in a giant set, their lives captured for an unseen audience, every laugh and every tear broadcast without them ever admitting it. 8. Grandpa Bob's fading mind. Grandpa Bob barely shows up in the series, and when he does, something feels wrong. In Fairy Tale, he forgets Bandit's name completely. Later, Bluey and Bingo even mentioned that he once forgot Bingo was born. That is not just a funny slip. It feels like early dementia creeping in. His long absences and odd behavior suddenly make sense if the family is quietly protecting him. The jokes and smiles keep the mood light, but hidden underneath is a painful truth the show never says out loud. 9. Snickers' hidden struggle. Snickers is always different from the rest of the kids. He never takes off that little green cap, not even in baby flashbacks, and he quietly disappears from some of the biggest group scenes. In The Sign, every classmate is there except him. It feels less like bad scheduling and more like a secret. Maybe the hat hides a medical issue. Maybe he is too fragile to run around like the others. Snickers smiles through it all, but his absence speaks louder than any words ever could. 10. Judo's silent family gap. Judo lives right next door, but her family picture always feels incomplete. We see Wendy, the strict mother with the icy stare, but Judo's dad never appears, never even gets a mention. The two moved from the UK alone, which makes it sound like they left something painful behind. Maybe her father passed away, or maybe something happened the show refuses to touch. Judo's sharp moods and lonely energy suddenly feel heavier when you realize she might be growing up with a piece of her family missing forever. 11. Winton's dad left behind. Cornelius, Winton's dad, carries heartbreak right in the background of the show. In Quiet Game, he looks happy, holding hands with his girlfriend. But soon after, in dance mode, she is spotted flirting with another dog, while Cornelius sits alone in a cafe. No breakup talk, no drama, just quiet abandonment. Later, he tries to move on, even sharing glances with the Terrier's mum. His silence tells the real story. Cornelius isn't just comic relief, he is a single dad stitched together by quiet pain and failed love. 12. The Terrier, Dad on the Street. In Quiet Game, the healers pass a beggar sitting outside a shop, and he looks almost identical to the Terriers. Same fur color, same build, same tired eyes. The show never names him, never explains why he is there, and the camera just moves on. But his presence lingers. Was this the boy's father, lost to hardship and now living rough? It turns a quick background extra into a gut punch of hidden story. The Terriers laugh and play, while their possible dad watches from the sidewalk. 13. Socks growing at her own pace. Socks doesn't act like the other pups. While the kids walk and talk like little humans, she crawls on all fours, bites toys, and rarely says a word. At first, it seems like comic relief, the wild cousin joke, but as episodes pile up, it feels more like a quiet message. Socks might be showing signs of delayed or different development, the kind many families know but rarely discuss. No one in the show explains it, yet the kindness around her suggests love without labels, even in silence. 14. Indy's snack-free childhood. Indy's mom takes healthy living to another level. While the other kids munch sausages and cake, Indy sits politely with carrots and dry crackers. She once explained she couldn't eat sausage because of chemicals, and the rules don't stop there. No sugar, no dairy, no gluten. Basically no fun. On the surface, it looks like clean eating, but it quietly feels like control. Indy smiles through it, yet her eyes give away disappointment. Childhood is short, and watching her miss out turns a picnic into something strangely heavy. 15. Rusty's boot camp childhood. Rusty never just plays. He trains. Push-ups in the yard, endless cricket drills, running like the army is timing him. His dad once served in the military, and that discipline hangs over every scene. Even their house feels different, structured, ordered, like fun is allowed only after duty is done. Rusty doesn't complain, but you can see the weight in how serious he acts compared to the others. While Bluey and Bingo live in chaos, Rusty grows up in what looks more like a backyard boot camp. 16. Granddad's medals tell another story. Granddad Mort comes across as stubborn and funny, but one detail in the healer home changes how you see him. Sitting on the wall is a Victoria Cross Medal, Australia's highest award for courage in battle. That is not a trinket you win at a raffle. It means Mort survived horrors most of us can't imagine. His playful camouflage games with the kids suddenly feel less like silliness and more like muscle memory. The war is never spoken about, but the medal is proof it follows him. Behind his grins sits a past filled with scars no one mentions. 17. Frisky's broken fairy tale. Frisky usually joins the games with a smile, but sometimes her mask slips. In Double Babysitter, when questions about love come up, her cheerful tone vanishes. Later, during Pretend Princess play, she blurts out that princes always wander off to find someone else. That line does not sound like random make-believe. It sounds like an experience. We know she once dated Bosco, and hints suggest he left her behind. Her bitterness isn't loud, but it sneaks into her words. Frisky's laughter hides a scar, a quiet reminder that heartbreak lingers even in the middle of playful adventures. 18. Bandit's dream that died young. Bandit may seem like the carefree dad who laughs through every mess, but one small moment shows a heavier past. When the healers nearly sell their house, the real estate agent is revealed to be Bucky, the same kid who once mocked Bandit's drawings as worthless. That comment crushed his dream of becoming an artist, and the wound clearly never healed. Meeting Bucky again forces Bandit to smile politely at the person who stole his confidence years ago. Behind the silly games, he carries the quiet ache of a childhood dream that never had a chance to grow. 19. Bluey's polished past. Every Bluey episode wraps up neatly, with laughter and lessons tied in a bow. Real life rarely works that way, which makes it feel like someone is remembering childhood rather than living it. Imagine adult Bluey, years later, telling her own kids about the perfect days of growing up. The messy parts get softened, the sad moments vanish, and only sunshine memories remain. That would explain the dreamlike glow that covers every story. The healer world may not be real time at all, but a polished scrapbook in Bluey's mind. 20. The mystery of vanishing things. The healers may be hiding a power nobody talks about. In Ragdoll, Bandit takes a $10 note and makes it disappear without moving from the couch. Later in Phones, Chilli does the exact same thing with her mobile. No bags, no pockets, no explanation. Just gone. Maybe it is a lazy animation trick, but it looks far stranger when you pay attention. Where are these objects going? Do the healers have invisible storage built into their fur, like walking backpacks? Every vanished item makes their cozy home feel a little more supernatural than we first believed. 21. Jeremiah the gnome can't catch a break. Jeremiah, the healer family's garden gnome, has quietly endured more pain than most main characters. In Backpackers, he topples to the ground and a piece of his ceramic hat snaps off. By the time the sign arrives, Frisky kicks him during a heated phone call, and the poor gnome already shows glued cracks. His injuries pile up while everyone else keeps laughing and playing. Jeremiah just sits there, patched together, waiting for the next disaster. He is more than yard decor. He is a battered survivor, trapped in a cheerful world that never seems to notice his suffering. 22. The $5 bill that wouldn't quit. In markets, Bluey gets $5 from the Tooth Fairy and sets out to spend it. After a string of false starts, she finally drops it into a busker's jar. Most shows would end the story there, but this note refuses to disappear. It shows up again in dance mode, sitting right on top of the jar, and later in Quiet Game, the same busker uses it to buy ice cream. A single piece of cash ends up traveling through episodes like a silent character, carrying its own mini-adventure across Bluey's world. 23. Wizards, Pokemon, and magic in the living room. The healer's house looks normal at first glance, but tiny details reveal a strange mix of hidden worlds. In Magic, while Bluey practices spells, a pillow on the shelf clearly shows Mr. Mime, the mime Pokemon famous for invisible walls. That is not random decor. It ties perfectly into the pretend magic game happening in the scene. Look again, and the toy box holds a stuffed wizard with a purple cape and pointy hat. Later, when Bluey and Chilli duel with spells, the entire sequence mirrors Gandalf facing Sauron in Lord of the Rings. The show quietly blends children's play with epic fantasy, sneaking in references only sharp eyes will catch. Suddenly, the Healer Lounge feels like a crossover event. 24. The vanished cats of Bluey's world. Dogs run shops, play sports, and drive cars. Yet cats are almost invisible. The only glimpses we get are plush toys, a cartoon called Cat Squad, and the sound of a meow in library. That silence feels deliberate. In Tradies, a painting shows a prehistoric dog holding a cat by the scruff like a trophy from another age. Was there once a great battle between cats and dogs, ending with cats erased from everyday life? Maybe they live hidden, maybe they're gone completely. The world looks cheerful, but the absence is loud. Every bark carries the shadow of a missing species, as if Bluey's universe is built on an old rivalry no one wants to explain. 25. Greenie's surprise return. In Mom School, Bluey adopts a green balloon as her child, naming him Greenie. The poor balloon eventually drifts away, floating out the window like he had given up on family life. It feels like a silly gag until the sign. During the wide wedding shots, look up at the sky. There he is, Greenie, drifting calmly above the scene as if nothing ever happened. This is not recycling animation. It feels like continuity with attitude, a balloon crashing a wedding like an old friend. Greenie turns into more than a lost toy. He becomes a strange guest, haunting the healer sky, reminding us that even balloons in this world refuse to let go of their stories. 26. Bluey's secret middle name. Most of us thought we knew Bluey inside and out, but one tiny detail slipped through. In Family Meeting, her full name gets dropped casually, almost like the writers hoped we wouldn't notice. It is not just Bluey Healer, it is Bluey Christine Healer. That middle name changes how you hear her every shout of Mum or Dad. Suddenly, the cheeky little pup has a surprisingly formal edge, like she is hiding a double life. Christine sounds like someone who balances books at an office or signs serious letters. It feels almost too grown up, and that is what makes the reveal so strange. Bluey's middle name isn't silly or playful. It is a secret slice of unexpected maturity. That's the end of our list, but clearly, Bluey's world is never as simple as it looks. Now here's something to argue about. Did the healers secretly build their perfect life on lies and hidden pasts? Or is it just clever storytelling? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss the next secret reveal.